He didn't expect a car launch calendar to feel like a warning signal, but in 2026, that's exactly what it became. At first glance, the auto market looked packed with promises: smarter software, better batteries, cleaner platforms, safer ADAS, lower operating costs. Every brand seemed ready to unveil the next big thing, but the deeper he looked, the more the pattern started to repeat. Delayed rollouts, strategy resets, trimmed lineups, deferred factory timelines, and a growing list of coming soon models that kept moving further into the future. And for buyers, that changes everything.
Are you excited,
Because
buddy?
in an unstable cycle, the worst purchase isn't always a bad car. Sometimes it's a good car bought at the wrong moment, right before a major update, right before a platform shift, right before resale values change, or right before support priorities quietly move to a newer architecture. He saw people celebrating low monthly payments while ignoring the hidden risk behind them, entering a product line right when the manufacturer itself was signaling uncertainty. That is the second hook nobody talks about. In 2026, the delay is the message. The brand may still release excellent vehicles, but when timelines slip, investments get reordered, and launch pipelines are resequenced, consumers should slow down and decode what that means in practical terms: warranty experience, software maturity, parts availability, dealer behavior, trade-in confidence, and long-term value retention. This is not a fear video, it's a timing video. And today he breaks down 8 car brands where model delays, rollbacks, or launch disruptions suggest one simple strategy for most buyers in 2026. Wait, verify, and avoid rushing into the wrong model year. Before the list starts, one rule: avoid does not mean never buy. It means avoid buying blindly before the dust settles. Now the map. The first signal came from Ford. Ford's broader strategy shift became one of the clearest examples of how quickly launch plans can change when demand and policy conditions change. Reuters reported that Ford delayed certain next-generation EV launches and took major write-downs tied to EV strategy resets, while pivoting harder toward hybrids, trucks, and smaller affordable EV pathways. What does that mean for a regular buyer in 2026? It means some model families may sit in a transition gap, not fully legacy, not fully next-gen. In those gaps, buyers face the classic trap: buying the in-between version right before a better architecture, battery chemistry update, or software stack enters the lineup.
Thank you.
He watched a familiar pattern emerge. Buyers focused on promotional APR and forgot to ask the deeper question: is this vehicle on a stable path or a temporary bridge product? If it's a bridge, depreciation pressure can accelerate once the true successor arrives. Open loop. Keep Ford in mind, because later he'll reveal the 3 questions that instantly expose whether you're about to buy a bridge product. Then came General Motors. GM did not disappear from EVs, far from it. But Reuters coverage highlighted pullbacks, production timing changes at key EV facilities, and notable write-downs as the company adjusted to weaker demand signals in parts of the market. This is where many consumers get confused. They hear long-term commitment and assume short-term stability. Those are not the same thing. A brand can stay committed to a technology and still reorder launches, cut specific variants, or pause planned capacity. If a buyer enters during that reordering period, they may face a product that receives fewer running updates or sits awkwardly between generations. He calls this the spec sheet illusion. On paper, the car looks current. In product strategy terms, it may already be halfway outdated. For 2026 buyers, the risk is not that GM won't build good cars. The risk is paying first-wave pricing for a model line that may be about to be re-tiered. Open loop. One of the brands later on is even more dangerous here because its delay isn't just timing, it's supply chain physics. The third case is Stellantis. Reuters reported delays affecting some electric Peugeot launches, tied to battery-related manufacturing difficulties in the supply chain, with delays reportedly stretching several months for certain configurations. And this is the real lesson: when battery supply constraints disrupt launch timing, the effects can spill beyond one nameplate. Trim logic changes, delivery windows slide, country allocations shift. Early buyers become beta testers for logistics as much as for technology.
Another 5 years of payments.
He has seen this story before. People place orders based on one expected timeline, then specs and timing evolve mid-wait. By delivery time, the financial assumptions are no longer the same as at signing. In 2026, that matters more because financing costs, insurance pricing, and residual assumptions are still highly sensitive to macro uncertainty. So for Stellantis-linked delayed programs, the safe move is simple. Do not buy based on brochure optimism. Buy based on confirmed production cadence and real delivery data. Open loop. Later, he'll show the 90-day confirmation test that filters hype from real availability. Fourth on the radar, Toyota. Toyota remains financially strong and operationally disciplined in many segments, but Reuters previously reported delays to U.S. EV production timing into 2026, with broader EV volume expectations being adjusted in external reporting contexts.
Looks good from here, boss.
This one is subtle. Toyota's strength can create false comfort. Because when a trusted brand delays certain EV execution timelines, many buyers assume, no problem, I'll just buy now and upgrade later. But the replacement cycle math can get painful if major platform improvements land soon after purchase. In other words, Toyota's reputation can make timing mistakes feel safer than they are. He explains it this way: if a brand is famous for reliability, the buyer often underestimates innovation timing risk. They focus on durability but ignore transition timing. For 2026, the intelligent play with Toyota in potentially delayed/transitioning EV pockets is not emotional loyalty. It's sequence discipline. Know exactly where that model sits in the launch pipeline before signing. Fifth, Volkswagen Group, with attention to Cupra/China-Europe production dynamics. Reuters reported VW-related strategic decisions around the Cupra Tavascan, including tariff exemption negotiations in Europe and consideration of future production location changes for successor planning. Why does this matter to a buyer who just wants a good deal? Because cross-region production strategy shifts can influence pricing architecture, allocation priorities, option packaging, and timeline certainty. A vehicle can look stable on marketing pages while the back-end industrial logic is still being renegotiated. He calls this geopolitical trim risk. The same nameplate may carry different value logic depending on where and when it's sourced. If buyers treat a transition year import model like a normal cycle model, they may misprice both wait time and future resale behavior. So for 2026 VW Group buyers in these exposed segments, avoid urgency, verify sourcing path and successor timing first. Sixth, Volvo cars. Reuters reported that Volvo faced pressure from tariffs and market conditions, including a prior impairment context that referenced launch delays and later profitability pressure in a difficult global environment. Volvo is a perfect example of why quality perception and launch stability are different variables. A brand can deliver strong safety engineering and still go through painful rollout turbulence. If a model line is caught in that turbulence, buyers may encounter staggered updates, shifting incentives, or changing availability across markets. He has nothing against the product vision. The issue is purchase timing in a stressed rollout window. In 2026, if a buyer chooses Volvo in a segment touched by launch uncertainty, the smartest move is to demand hard data, software roadmap milestones, service bulletin trends, and real-world owner delivery timelines, not just press kit promises. Open loop, and now comes the brand where delay risk is tied not only to execution, but to identity transition itself. Seventh, Nissan. Nissan had widely reported EV timeline delays in US-linked programs in prior coverage, and broader plant/asset dynamics continue to evolve as industry competition intensifies, including interest in shuttered manufacturing assets in Mexico, reported by Reuters. When a brand is balancing catch-up pressure, capital discipline, and regional strategy shifts, product timing can become fragile. For buyers, this creates one of the most underestimated 2026 risks, buying a model that the brand itself may soon reposition in pricing, branding, or technical hierarchy to regain momentum. He has seen buyers become inventory solutions for manufacturers during transition periods, great discounts up front, unclear downstream support rhythm. That does not mean Nissan is a bad brand. It means the buyer must understand whether they are purchasing into a stable chapter or a rewrite chapter. If it's a rewrite chapter, patience often beats discounts. Eighth, Mercedes-Benz. Reuters reported steep profit pressure and explicitly highlighted a difficult China backdrop while Mercedes planned a large multi-year product offensive. This creates a paradox buyers should respect. Aggressive launch ambition can coexist with heavy margin stress and regional demand volatility. In practice, that can mean fast iteration, strategy corrections, and recalibrated product mix decisions as the company pushes to recover competitiveness. For premium buyers, the mistake is assuming that paying more automatically reduces timing risk. In transition-heavy cycles, premium brands can move even faster, making early cycle purchases vulnerable to near-term supersession. He tells viewers, never confuse brand prestige with launch certainty. In 2026, if the premium brand is in offensive mode, wait for the first stability wave unless your deal structure protects you from rapid evolution. At this point in the story, he paused, because this is where viewers usually ask the wrong question. So, should I buy nothing in 2026? No, that's not the conclusion. The conclusion is this. Avoid unstable windows, not entire brands.
Making contact now.
And now, the mid-video re-engagement hook. Here are the 3 practical filters that close every open loop in this video. Filter 1, the 90-day confirmation test. Before buying, demand proof that your exact trim/powertrain/configuration has had stable production and delivery behavior for at least 90 days in your region. If timing, allocations, or specs are still moving, wait. Filter 2, the bridge product test. Ask, is this model the brand's strategic destination or a bridge before a major refresh/platform change? If dealer answers are vague, assume bridge risk and negotiate hard or delay purchase. Filter 3, the support reality test. Check 3 things: service queue times, software update cadence, and known issue patterns in owner communities and technical bulletins. A great launch event means nothing if post-sale support is unstable. These 3 filters convert noise into signal. Now the climax, the big reveal that ties all 8 brands together. The biggest risk in 2026 is not brand X is bad. The biggest risk is buying during strategic hesitation. Across the industry, Reuters has documented write-downs, launch deferrals, production retiming, and profitability pressure linked to EV rollback dynamics and macro stress. That broader context matters because consumers still shop as if 2018 rules apply. Pick badge, compare horsepower, chase monthly payment, done. But 2026 is different. Timing intelligence is now as important as the model itself. He put it bluntly, in this market, the informed buyer behaves like an analyst. He tracks product cadence, he reads strategy signals, he spots bridge years, he avoids paying launch optimism for transition uncertainty, and when he does buy, he buys with structure, flexible financing, clear warranty understanding, and an exit plan before the next wave hits resale values. That is how you win this cycle. Final payoff. If someone must buy a car in 2026, they can still make a strong decision, but they should avoid emotionally charged urgency and limited time pressure around delayed or transitioning model lines. For the 8 brands in this video, Ford, GM, Stellantis, Toyota, Volkswagen Group, Volvo, Nissan, and Mercedes, the message is consistent. Great products may still come, but buyers should avoid the unstable part of the timeline. Wait for a confirmed cadence. Verify the model's strategic position. Buy only after the launch dust settles. That one discipline can save thousands in depreciation, headaches in ownership, and regret in the first 12 months. Comment timing and he'll publish part 2. 12 cars that are safer to buy in 2026 because their launch cycles are stable. Also subscribe and turn on alerts because the next video includes a buyer checklist you can use at the dealership in under 5 minutes, including the exact questions that force transparent answers from sales teams. In 2026, the smartest buyer is not the fastest buyer. It's the buyer who understands the clock,